It's a new year. I'm not crazy busy just yet at work, so I got some time to film for you guys. Hopefully I can do this batch thing I've been promising people to do, that I would do, under control. But welcome to Metafix, and this week we're going to talk about prepping for your WKOs. Alright guys, now I've talked about practice and everything that comes with getting ready for the game, but we haven't talked about getting ready for the game. Or at least not in great depth, or if I have, well, the game has expanded a lot since that episode, I'm sure. And in fact, it's great because the team I've been playing a lot lately kind of helps identify all those things you might need to pack or might need to consider. So I'm going to cover all the bases for you guys as I pack my own WKO level team. In prep for, you know, maybe a WKO on February 4th in Whitby, Ontario. Who knows, right? I might be there. I know Amber will be there. Now, all that said, you've spent some time practicing. You're ready. You know your team. I'd advise something when it comes to getting ready. The night before your tournament, get something to carry your team in. This is a lovely pencil crayon storage box that I got at the dollar store. Doesn't take much to hold your stuff. It's neat because it's got a cute little lid that clips on and carries like a lunchbox. Something that's easy to carry. I suggest it. Reason? You can be carrying this thing around all over the place. Make it easy to actually schlep around. Okay? Especially, and mine is particularly big because I build teams particularly big. Anyway, all that said and done, it's time to talk about all the different things we need. Now, before you go packing for your WKO, remember when I say WKO, these are the WizKids Run event. We spend a lot of time on the channel talking about rock tournaments, and currently the rock is what's called their limited format. Now I'm not going to go into detail about that because that is not what the WKO format is. The WKO format is the fully legal modern format. Resources are allowed. Whatever, if it's modern age, it's legal. So be ready for it to a certain degree. Don't come with a rock limited team expecting to do well. If you do expect to do well, it's because you've practiced with your team against teams with resources. Be ready for this stuff because this stuff it's going to catch you off guard if you're not ready for it. So first thing is, of course, always have your resource ready. Most teams do have a resource. If you don't, good on you, man. Play it out. All the luck to you. I'm not going to bash anybody not playing a resource. Some teams actually, nowadays the resource is a little bit more optional than it used to because there are some builds that can go without resources. But for the most part, we all know the resource is an important element of our team. So always make sure you pack that with the proper card and your attachments. Now in my team, I've got myself a Justice League teleporter. And because of that, I need ID cards. I gotta take my ID cards, and what you want to do first with your ID cards, match up the characters that you're bringing with your ID card along with their cards. It's a very easy way to kind of keep yourself organized. So I'll lay out all my ID cards on the table, and you guys aren't going to have to see that, but just so you get an understanding. So I got Hawkeye over there, and I'm using the 75-point Fast Forces Hawkeye. So I make sure he's there, and I make sure I have the card with him. All right, bam. Now I take all of those pieces, and I put them in the box. So I know I packed them. Understand, I'm going very, very specific and very step-by-step with this because you do not want to mess this up. Nothing's worse than showing up at the venue and, you know, having your Nick Fury and Hulk card and level 7 ID card, and you go to put it on your team and you forgot your Hulk figure. Or your Nick Fury, even worse, your Nick Fury figure. Like, that's the worst kind of feeling showing up at an event. Now, you can go and beg for the figure. That's an option. But trust me, doing this beforehand has you ready. Now, if you're going for a long distance trip to your WKO, this whole thing that we're doing happens well before the actual WKO itself. This happens the day before you plan to leave. And then it happens the night before the WKO in your hotel room. Understand, because you gotta be careful. This is the worst kind of thing that can happen. Anyway, I've gone through the process of getting my ID cards matched up with my characters. Kind of zoom through this part of the process right now. Constantine goes with Constantine card. I got Firestorm. Make sure I have my OP kit Firestorm along with the ID card. Nudge, nudge. Like, just This is one of those, we're playing an ARG right now with you guys. I don't know if you noticed. Make sure you got your Green Arrow, 85-point OP kit Green Arrow with a Green Arrow card, along with a Green Arrow figure. Mine's taking a bit of a beating, so he stays in a nice protected case. If you have a figure that has a habit of falling off of the base, these single figure plastic containers are a godsend. Trust me on that one. They will protect your figure a great deal. So you put that in there, make sure it's nice and protected. These really cushion the figure. They can take a bit of a beating, and you're not worried about the figure inside of it, especially if your lunchbox, like mine, tends to get jostled. Get my Superman, along with all 3 versions of Superman that I bring with me. Even Superman Red, that's right. Yeah, all these naysayers, he's with me. Alright, so that's all my ID cards covered. Now I gotta make sure I have, of course, my team and the cards that go with my team. So I make sure I have the card for my Ultron 6 who's on my team. There he is. Alright. Then I make sure I have my Ultron Future drone. Boom, there he is with me. Bam, can't argue with that, right? Of course, then I got my Thug. And you know what? Because he's a figure with the dial on the back of the card, why not make sure you have a covered back on it? Disappointed Donkey Kong is disappointed. Nintendo's going to strike us on this one. All right, now I got a big figure here in the Devil Dinosaur. Got the Devil Dinosaur card, but I'm going to need something to rep the bystander tokens, right? So always make sure. Now, guys, I can't stress this enough. For your own sake and for your opponent's sake, have some kind of version of the bystander tokens. Now, I was lucky enough to meet a fella at the Rock World Cup who put them on bystander tokens. Check out bigbullygames.com. Check out a number of different bigbullygaming.com. Along with a number of other game accessory makers. A lot of these guys have gone out of their way to make, neat little versions of these bystander tokens that you might need for characters like Devil Dinosaur or other characters that create tokens. So make sure you have those extra. Now my team also uses Mephisto. I forgot to bring him down, but that's because somebody else used him. I think it was me on another team. So already I'd be like, where's my Mephisto? But now I'm having this problem the day before the tournament. Right? I also have my Jean Grey. What happened to my Jean Grey? Oh, last episode we filmed, Amber had my Jean Grey. Amber, where's my Jean Grey? Is the conversation we have right now. And she just gave me such a sour look. Anyway, so I also bring extra tokens for things like Mephisto's sold contract tokens. Or, my opponent might have some other kind of effect token that needs to go on my figures. So I have these handy just in case. I use these Spider-Man ones because contract tokens, those of you who read One More Day, are just as disappointed as in their life as I am. And I think I just broke Amber. Alright, then of course, that's the team. The team's only part of the equation. You gotta have the tools to play. Now, I can't stress this enough, you gotta have your object tokens. Always make sure you have your object tokens. And I'd suggest possibly a second set of the same object tokens because these things go missing all the time. And what's more, bring a couple extra things like light objects or whatnot because sometimes you have a character that might be able to make them. Who knows, right? All of these are possible things that you might need to take care of in the middle of the game. So get those covered. Next, you need action tokens. I suggest for a bigger event, 2 sets of different colored action tokens to denote turns for your sake and your opponent's sake. It leaves less ambiguity in the middle of a game and allows both you and your opponent to know what's happening on what turn and the alternation of the turns. So that's my suggestion. However you manage it, but I would suggest some kind of double toe coloring just to manage things in that manner. I wish I could leave home without them. You need your dice. And like I said with the tokens, you might need extra, or with the object tokens, bring 2 sets. Sometimes you'll come to a second game and one of your dice has gone missing. Always try to have a matching set of dice. All right, next up, the other tokens, as it were. These things come in the starter sets. Things like barrier tokens and smoke tokens or special tokens. Now, the reason I suggest bringing these and bringing a lot is they do pull double duty. The barrier tokens, on the other side, they're hindering terrain tokens for broken pieces of wall or blocking terrain. You need these because sometimes you're up against that map and you realize you got to break walls to do things. It happens all the time, especially if you're playing in somebody who likes to use a WizKids office map. Be ready to have this broken terrain. I use special markers a lot in my box just to mark the blocking or the hindering terrain that you get from broken blocking terrain. And smoke cloud does come with water as well. Just have smoke ready. Nobody brings 6 anymore because a lot of times they forget that 6 smoke tokens get made by smoke cloud nowadays. Of course, always make sure you have your maps with you, whatever maps you plan. I am the worst for this. I forget a map every time. One of my maps, all of my maps, I forget them. I've now started carrying this box that carries maps. Now granted, this team likes one map. That's okay. Actually, it likes another one, but that doesn't fit in here. I haven't figured out a carrying solution yet for the big new maps. The new specialty maps that was made the premium maps. If you've got a really good one that's easy to handle, let me know in the comments below. I like to carry this around because this generally beats judges. Right? If your opponent has an issue with the ruling, they can call the judge, and if you can find the page very quickly, you have it handy. Or, you know, if you disagree with the judge's ruling, you whip out the rule book and show them the page that you think your ruling is correct. This can solve a lot of arguments. Next up, powers and abilities card. Print one, make one, eat one. I don't care, just bring it. Not enough people know this because so many arguments before even calling the judge are solved by reading this thing. So have one handy just to have for your reference and your opponent's reference. A lot of times if I have a question about a power, during my opponent's turn I am reading it, or just before I expect them to use the power, I'm reading the powers and abilities card just to be sure that they're not doing something incorrect or I'm not over-preparing for something. And once that's all in the box, click it up. Continue to yell at Amber for your Jean Grey that you're missing, and slap yourself for forgetting to put the Mephisto in the box. Go do that now. Again, on the day of the tournament too, what I like to do is undo this box, double check everything, make sure it's all there again. Honestly, I can't stress enough, make sure you have all this stuff, because when you get to that WKO and you're ready to rock, you're in it to win it, right? And, you know, being ready is a big part of it, right? Mental preparation can get totally demolished by forgetting the smallest things. And I can't stress enough how important all the steps that I just took to put my team in a box, because my team literally does just about everything this game does nowadays. And, you know, I got it all in one place and I'm ready to go, except for my Jean Grey and my Mephisto. Anyway, all that goes to show that it's an important part to be ready, and being not ready that morning of can actually throw you through a bit of a loop if you feel nervous about it. You have to stress to find a thing. You hope that they maybe have one for sale at the store. Skip all that. Do yourself the favor. Be ready to play, be ready to have fun, get ready to rock, because these WKOs are awesome. The pricing is amazing, and even if you don't win, go into the Battle Royales and get yourself some of those cool bystander tokens that I've seen that are actually on poker chips now. I'm really excited to get my hands on some of them. A lot of people are kind of hit and miss on them. Myself, excited to get them. I'm excited for the new con exclusives. Hopefully I can hit top 8 in my event at bare minimum so that I can get... Oh wait, you gotta get top 4 to get any figure. So hopefully you get top 4. I get myself a Giant Man and Ghost Rider Hulk, or heck, maybe even a top 2 and get all those other figures, so I don't have to worry or stress myself out about it at Nationals and Worlds, and just have fun in the tournament. Because remember, always having the prizes ahead of time can really go a long way as well. Anyway, I've rambled on at length to no end. Have fun at your WKOs, guys. Have a wonderful time in February. And I hope to see you guys at the WKO in Whitby on February 4th. Have a good night, and remember that practice makes your team better.